careful with the psychedelics. I would suggest you don't ingest them, okay? Any form of psychedelics, not unless you're in some form of extreme mental disharmony, where you're at a point of a critical point where, you know, it's life or death type of thing, where you've literally tried everything and there seems to be no type of solution for your mental problems. I definitely wouldn't suggest to take psychedelics if you're a little bit bored with your life and you feel like you're aimless. That is not the way, mate. That is not the way. You need to get your head down and start working. That's my idea. That's my opinion. My philosophy. You've got to get your head down and put 100% effort into the situation that you're in. Accept the reality that you're in. Embrace the reality that you're in, and the situation that you're in. Don't escape it. Don't start to now take something that's going to alter your brain chemistry just because you're a little bit bored and you think that you need some sort of meaningful experience to impulse you into to drive mode. That's not the way, mate. Start getting up early. Start going to the gym or exercising early. Start having better thoughts. Stop ruminating. Stop giving time to the thoughts that are not conducive to the growth that you want to see in yourself, that are not going to make you grow in the way or shape that you want to grow. Stop feeding them thoughts. Put effort into having better thoughts. It takes effort, it takes willpower. Believe in yourself. Believe that you can achieve whatever goals you want to achieve. Sit down and think about the goals that you want to achieve if you don't know what they are. Don't take trips with psychedelics to then alter your brain chemistry and fuck up all your mental wiring just because you think that you're a bit aimless and that's what would help you snap you out of it. It's not going to help. Okay, it's only going to make things much worse, and then the arduous digging yourself out of a hole, which would have been maybe a 2-meter hole, is now a 20-meter hole because of the fucking psychedelics. Okay, I'm talking metaphorically, a mental hole. Okay, that's it. You want to have a little bit of drive to yourself and start getting up early. But people claim that they want to achieve their goals and they want to achieve greatness or whatever, but then aren't able to drag themselves out of bed in the morning, you know. Put the alarm on at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and get up and then go and do some exercise. If you ain't got a gym near your house, then go for a run. There's something you can do. There's definitely something you can do exercise wise. There's no excuse there. Even if you've got some sort of injury or something, there's something you can do. There's always something that you can do. Some form of movement. The only admissible excuse is if you're paralyzed or you've got some form of really hard illness, you know. That's really draining your life energy. Then, of course, that's not an excuse, that's a valid reason for you to not train. But if you're saying that you've hurt your ankle or something like that, come on, don't give me that, you know. That's not an excuse. So yeah, get up early, train hard, and start figuring out what you've been put here for. And then when you've got an idea of what you've been put here for, start breaking down how you'd get to that point in your life, how you'd become the person that you're meant to be. Backwards engineer it. Think of the habits that person would have. Think of the standards that person would set for themselves on a day-to-day. How would they wake up? What kind of thoughts are they having? What kind of things are they doing each day? And work extremely hard at the job that you've got, that you're making money from. Take on all the responsibilities that you can afford to without overworking yourself, but definitely try your best at your job. That's something that that's a skill that you'll carry into your day-to-day life, okay? Because at the end of the day, it's how you do one thing is how you do everything. So you want to get used to working very hard, because one day, hopefully, you'll work for yourself. So you want to be a hard worker for yourself and for the people that you support and love. So yeah, don't do psychedelics. Never do them. That's my point of view, okay? People say that they help you open your mind, but I really don't believe that you need them to open your mind, okay? There's other ways to open the mind. I've been there, man. I've done it so that you don't have to, okay? You fuck up your brain chemistry to a point that's almost of no return. You don't want that for yourself or for anybody, really. These are not things that you can just experiment with and, well, if you don't like it, you can just quit it. They are things that will change your life. You take a psychedelic, you're gonna change your brain chemistry. You won't be the same person that you was before you took it. So at least bear that in mind if you're absolutely determined that you're gonna take them. And I can tell you, I know a few people that have fucked themselves up on psychedelics and they haven't come back. They're just now crackpots. I've met a few people that are like that, and it's so sad. And one of my friends, a close friend of mine, really, he did them and he ended up in a coma. I mean, he wasn't just doing the psychedelics, but I'm pretty sure it was because of the psychedelics that he ended up in a coma. But it's just there's no positive side to it, okay? The tiny positive outcome of maybe gaining a little bit of an idea of what lateral thinking is, you know, where you can think outside the box, is achievable in other ways. It's like 1% pro, 99% con in that shit. And the 99% con is irreversible unless you put 100% effort, full effort for years consistently to then fix yourself, to then get back to baseline. It's just not worth it, man. Come on. Don't let people convince you as well. I'm convinced most people, if not all, that have done hardcore psychedelics are backwards rationalizing to reduce the feeling of guilt that they feel for fucking themselves up so much for taking the drug. So they've got to backwards rationalize that the fucking up of their brain chemistry was worth it because they gained a little bit of open-mindedness. But I think that's damage control. It's like they're trying to fool themselves as well as other people, you know. They're trying to convince you as much as they're trying to convince themselves that what they did was a good idea, when deep down, if they could turn back the time and not take it, I think most people with a little bit of common sense to them wouldn't do them. I know I wouldn't. But then again, you can also argue on the other side of the coin that you are who you are because of the experiences that you've had in your life, and if it wasn't for that, then I wouldn't be who I am. So I have to be happy and to turn every single thing, that good and bad, that happens, I have to be grateful for it. I can't, no regrets in that. So, but then again, do you really need to make life more complicated than what it already is, when that's it, it's already complicated enough? Do you need to make it even more complicated by now adding the complexity of fucking up your brain chemistry? When most people that turn to psychedelics as a form of escape or medication or something like that have already got a fucked up situation themselves. They would not benefit from doing this shit. It's only going to make the situation worse. So yeah, man, trust me on that. Just trust me on it. Don't do it. Go out, get up early in the morning, get out of the house, work hard, train hard, be positive, have positive thoughts, consume positive information, eat good quality foods, don't eat shit. If you can tolerate it, drink caffeine. I know quite a few people that drink 1,000 milligrams of caffeine a day. That's about 9 to 10 coffees a day. If you can handle that, then go for it, you know what I mean? Just space it out over the day. Don't drink it all in one go, obviously. but that will increase your productivity, and then that's it. That's what we're here for, really. We're here to be productive human beings, but not to produce for other people, or like to build for other people only. Like, obviously you've got to help other people build their thing up while you're building your thing up. That's just how it works. I was quite sure about you scratch mine type of thing, but you eventually want to get to a point where you'll start building your own stuff, you know. But to get to that point, you've got to develop a lot of different skills that will then turn you into the person that is able to build stuff for yourself, and that comes with time and life experience and knowing people, you know, networks of people and stuff like that. That's what you gain all that through working hard. But I really don't think, like, I'm convinced that psychedelics is not the solution, man. That I think that's like an extreme case solution, but only for people that are in extreme dire need of them. To be honest, like, the science is not so versed in them things. I don't think they're not things that you need to play with.